What's up, guys? Welcome back. I figured it's been a while, so it's probably a good time for another video. Plus I'm wearing makeup today, so now's as good time as any. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my relationship with food, your relationship with food, where you're sitting when it comes to food, just a few recent encounters with clients, with some lifestyle meetings and clients got me thinking that this is probably a good time to discuss this topic. I was going to wait a little bit to do this one because it's a little bit intense. But anyways, I figure now's a good time. So I wanted to start out by addressing something that a lot of people have brought up to me recently, is the obsession with food, the obsession with tracking and counting and freaking out over every bite and morsel that you're eating, wondering if it's gonna go to your ass or to your biceps, whatever it may be. Anyways, the idea of living a healthy lifestyle is not, of course, with the intent to be obsessed with food, to have this type of relationship with food. And yet somehow we all end up here. To say that I haven't been there would be a complete lie. But I can safely say that I'm no longer in that place. I achieved a goal that I wanted to physically, and now it's honestly just been a point of maintenance. Yes, I have an ice cream cone and a cake pop here and there. But yes, majority of my food are healthy meals filled with chicken and turkey and eggs and rice and so on. The point is that I'm choosing to live like this and I enjoy to live like this, and that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it anymore to have a six-pack or to have lean shoulders, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, to weigh a certain amount. I'm not doing it for that reason anymore. Yes, that's an awesome perk that comes with it, if that comes with it, but that's not my intent of eating like this, of training like this. I train because I love to train, and I eat this food because I know that it is actually healing my body, it's taking care of my body, it's nourishing my body in the way that I want. Some of you may not know this, but I have rheumatoid arthritis, which is an inflammatory disease that I'm kind of stuck with for life. I've had it since I was 19 years old. And around that time is the time that I actually discovered fitness and discovered this lifestyle and this way of eating and training. And that's when I got my arthritis under control. So eating like this and training like this plays a big part in me keeping it under wraps, keeping it under control. If I eat a lot of sugar, a lot of starchy types of foods, it flares up immediately. My hands swell up. I couldn't even hold on to a barbell if I tried. So that's kind of a good motivator for me to stay on track and to eat this way and train this way. But something that I wish that I had known from the start, or I wish that I went into fitness with this intention and with this goal, was having the goal of, like I said, maintaining the lifestyle, having the goal of making it something that I enjoy to do, that I love to do. I'm training because it's fun and I want to try different exercises and I want to see where I can push my body. I'm eating like this because it makes me feel good and it gives me energy and it keeps me productive and mentally aware for the rest of the day. Whereas I went into it with probably the same intent that most people go into, which is vanity. And having vanity as that driving source, as usually the only driving source, makes it very difficult to maintain a lifestyle. It's no longer a lifestyle. You're eating to look a certain way. You're training to look a certain way. It becomes an obsession because all you're looking at is numbers. Am I hitting that weight? Am I hitting that body fat? Are my measurements going down? Am I making those weigh-ins this week? You completely skew why you are doing this, or at least why you should be doing this, which is to be healthy, to live longer and so on, just like I've discussed in other vlogs before. And it just becomes a way to criticize yourself, a way to find more flaws that you need to improve, rather than a way that you can look at your body and think, okay, I've done so much. Yes, I have a lot of potential. Yes, I can go further, but you take it on as a challenge and as a way to better yourself rather than to put yourself down and tell yourself how much you need to change constantly. This is probably the best time in the industry to be a contest prep coach and the worst time ever to be a lifestyle coach. Yes, I do both of those things, but the lifestyle part is definitely a challenge these days considering every single photo that you see on Instagram or on Facebook or so on is photoshopped, and whether they're a professional fitness model or not, they're enhancing their glutes and making their waist smaller and fixing their cellulite and so on. And then you girls are out there watching these videos thinking that this is reality and this is what real people look like, and that maybe if you just work a little harder or eat a little less or do a little bit more cardio, that you'll get to that place. Let me tell you, that is not achievable and that is not maintainable. Yes, there are professional fitness models out there that look like that year round, but you don't want to be doing what they're doing and living a regular life. Their job is to be a fitness model. If you have a life and kids and a family and a real job and you want to stay at 5% body fat so you can have a shredded six-pack year round and a glute hammy tie-in, your future doesn't look so fun, at least not to me. It's a really shitty time to live in right now when it comes to fitness, when it comes to physique and how we look at our bodies and how we judge ourselves. So I can completely understand why people come to me in the mindset that they're in and how hard they are on their bodies. But I can't preach it enough how important it is to remember that these photos are altered. These are not real life situations. These are not ideal situations. And that although that might look appealing to you, that body might look nice to you, getting to that level may take more than you're prepared to give or want to give for the rest of your life. My photos in magazines have been retouched. I'm not going to say, that my waist has been made smaller, my glutes have been made bigger, but yes, my cellulite is gone. I do have cellulite. You don't see it in those photos. If you have a dark circle under your eye, that's fixed. If you have a blemish, that's fixed. All those things are fixed in professional photos. So you have to remember that. Nobody is perfect. It's just the illusion of looking perfect to be in a magazine, to be on Instagram, to be this person that people are portraying to be. So before you go and, beat down on yourself and treat yourself like an asshole because you might think you're not working hard or whatever it may be to look like these people look, stop and think, is this real? Is what am I looking at real life, achievable, attainable, something that I can go on and live like this year round and have these photos been retouched? Think about it before you criticize yourself. And it's not just you. You're not the only victim to this Instagram fakeness fame. I've definitely been there. I've put filters on my photos to get rid of my cellulite so you can't see it. Or I would, for years, would never post a photo of the backside of my body because, of course, I had cellulite on my legs and on top of my hamstrings, and that looked terrible to me, and I was so mortified about it, and I would never post it. Nobody could see that. But guess what? That's real life. People have cellulite hiding under their jeans, under their shirts. And who cares? Does that define how hard you're working? No. How you're eating, how you're taking care of your body? No, it doesn't. If you're busting your ass in the gym every single day and you're taking care of your body and you're drinking water and you're sleeping at night and you're eating the food that your body needs and you have a little bit of leftover fluff or cellulite, love handles, whatever the hell you want to call it, so what? Does that make your kids love you any less? Your husband love you less? Does that make your job a shittier job? No, that doesn't define your life, the way that you live your life, or who you are. Yes, your photos may not look Instagram ready, if that's what you want to call it. But guess what? I'm going to tell you guys that I think the most feedback and the most response I've gotten from my photos are ones that have been real, ones that have had rolls and cellulite and so on, where I'm talking about shit that people can actually relate to, not just being a perky little fitness model on Instagram with the most perfect photos that have been retouched that nobody in real life can relate to. So this relationship with food vlog turned into a relationship with yourself and your body and body image. But anyways, the reason that this topic came up was the idea that we build this unhealthy relationship with food through these unhealthy relationships we have of our own body image, when we're looking at food as a way to punish ourselves, or as exercise as a way to punish ourselves for eating food, rather than looking at food to nourish our bodies, to take care of our bodies, to improve our lifts, to improve our runs, whatever it may be. We are looking at it as a way to get lean, to get a six-pack, and not as a way to take care of our body and to live a longer life. And that's where these unhealthy relationships start. Where these relationships start when you have fitness goals, lifestyle goals that have only to do with the way that you look and the way that other people see you. And then, of course, the only thing that you're striving for, as I mentioned before, are numbers. And the only thing that you're striving for are likes on Instagram and are people following you on Facebook and you losing weight every single week, when really that's not what matters when it comes to this lifestyle. If you want to be a fitness competitor, yes, it makes a big difference because you are being judged on your body. And if that's what you want to sign up for, great, have at her. I've done it before. There's things I love about it. There's things that I don't love about it. Will I do it again? Who knows? We'll see. The point is, I like the challenge of competing, but a competition diet is nowhere near maintainable year round. You are in a deficit. It is not really a good time. You can't really go out with your friends. You can, but you're not going to interact the same way you would usually. You can't have that extra bite. You can't have a glass of wine with your significant other if you're celebrating something. You can't miss that cardio. Whereas when it comes to a lifestyle, if you have to take your kids somewhere and you can't get your cardio in, okay, so what? If something exciting happens in your life and you're going out with your girlfriends to celebrate and have a glass of wine, you can do that. And that's what having a healthy relationship with food is. If you're not a professional athlete, if you're not training for a specific sport, if you're doing this to feel better, to live longer, yeah, it's still to look a little bit better. You're allowed to have that goal. Just make sure it's not your primary one. If you're doing this for these reasons, you should be able to maintain that healthy relationship with food where you can go and have a piece of cake and you're not going to, look at yourself crying for the next 5 days because you've done that. You're going to move on. You're going to go wake up the next morning. You're going to have a lift, eat your regular food, and carry on with your life. And that's what finding that balance is. Everybody finds their balance in different ways. Everybody takes a different amount of time to find their balance. God, it took me probably 7 years to find that balance. It took me a long ass time. When I started to lose weight when I was younger, it's because I was overweight and I wanted to lose weight because I didn't like the way I looked. It had nothing to do with my health. I didn't care if I was going to die at 35 because of a heart attack. That wasn't my goal whatsoever. I did it for absolutely the wrong reasons. I cut my food and I did a shit ton amount of cardio because I wanted to be skinny like my girlfriends. Once I got introduced to weightlifting, my priorities shifted a little bit, but again, then I got into competing, and then it was about physique and the way that I looked and how lean I could get. And this is the first year that I can really say that it's no longer about that. So if you're not quite there yet, don't be hard on yourself. Don't rush this process. It takes time, but just make sure that you make that time, that you take that time to yourself, that you journal, that you blog, that you need to do whatever you need to do to have those talks with yourself about your body, about how you're treating food. Every single day, you might have to have this conversation with how you're looking at your food. Are you beating yourself up for eating? Are you using exercise as punishment? Or are you doing it because it's something that you genuinely love? It's going back and it's learning and relearning to look at your body in a different way and to look at food in a different way. So I hope that I opened your guys' mind up a little bit about food and how you look at food and how you look at your body, and hopefully shed some light on a place to start to improve that relationship. And then, of course, I always have a book that I want to recommend. So this book is called It Was Me All Along by Andy Mitchell. And it's a great book that actually discusses the relationship with food, with diets, with exercise. And I hope that you guys will get something from it, just like I did, and have that emotional connection, that aha moment while reading it. So pick it up if you don't have it already. I hope that you enjoyed this rambling, as always, vlog. So if you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe below if you haven't already, and I will chat with you soon.